Okay, so if you see the stop video icon at the bottom of your screen and you click on the little caret next to it, then you can choose virtual background. And you know what, I'm going to do a screen share so you can see what that looks like. It's a little funky. Okay, I'm not sure why it minimized, but all right. So, and now I can't see what I need to see. Huh. Okay, I'm going to stop the share. Oh, maybe there we go. Okay, so I'm going to choose I'm going to click on choose virtual background. And oh, that's what, and then I'm going to add the image. Oh, come on, show me. It's PNG. No? Is it JPEG? No, it doesn't want to show me. Huh. Okay, it's not in the right format, so it won't show, but I would select that. I would select the upload from after choosing that, upload it, and then you just click on the one you want. So I'm going to use that one for now, and that's that. So now I have this background. Oh, so Paula was able to do it. Now it looks a little funny on you because it's like you're sort of it's see-through. It's weird.
Yeah, no, the room I'm in, I guess my computer is detecting me as like the same color as the wall of the practice room I'm in. So
Oh, okay. Yeah.
yeah.
And green screen will also mess it up. Boys, you will not actually ever be in Dorabella's bedroom. So you don't have to worry about this one, but you're gonna have something sort of like this. We're still deciding on what that's going to be, but I just think it would be really cool. We'll have to practice. It's a little complicated, but actually once we leave the bedroom, we're in the garden scene. We don't have to go back and forth. So it's really only going to affect the women, and we can take, like we can do some kind of filler there for you to get back and forth in there. But I just thought this would be a cool way to have a quote unquote set. So Paula now has a leaf on her head. You've discovered the effects. Yeah, fun, fun, fun. Okay, so you all got the summary that I sent you. Apollo wrote wonderful notes, and I used those to base off uh, basically the plot stream that we had come up with. Apollo, were you raising your hand to say something, or were you just acknowledging?
Oh, I think I think sometimes when I hear Apollo, I hear Paul and my brain's like, what's going on? But no, I didn't have anything. Thank you for asking though.
I'll just start saying Apollo. Apollo. Nice round. Ah. Okay, so what do you guys think about this? What's your feeling so far about what we've got, about the way the project is progressing? Give me some feedback.
I feel okay about it. It's just like, I guess since I'm like the narrator character though, it's like I just like, because it's like I guess I was unsure of like how much I would be like talking like before the scenes. Do you know what I mean? Where it's like, would I be like giving like the exposition to like what's going on, or would that occur within like their dialogue? But
Well,
uh,
there's two thoughts. I'm sorry, finish, and then I'll.
oh no, that was it pretty much.
So there's two thoughts here. One is that it's not necessary that we have the narration aspect of it, which might complicate things. We could just do it as if it's happening live. So, even though it's kind of fun to think of being on the phone and talking to Fiordiligi about everything, we could just have it happen live without that narration. And that would cut down on the amount of dialogue that you would have to do. So that's one thought. And the other thing to add is that the dialogue is going to be literally just like one or two lines. It's not going to be a whole big speech. So, just for example, maybe when we open the curtain, we see Dorabella in her room getting dressed, and I actually it might be really funny if you were singing or humming "Je veux vivre," you know, like Juliet sings at her for her party. And then Marguerite, and we're missing Karen, that's who we're missing, bursts in and says something like, Dorabella, you'll never believe what I just found on my doorstep. And she'll, have a box of jewels, and then we'll see you pick up something on your end and say, oh my God, where did all these jewels come from, Marguerite? Or something like that. That's it. And then she bursts into the jewel song. So it's literally two sentences. We're not talking about doing a whole big play here. So hopefully that sets your mind at ease. And we're also this is what we're literally going to figure out tonight, is what we're going to say. So we can start the next time we meet. We will actually rehearse these things and rehearse the order and start our songs. We probably won't sing all the way through them, but we'll just keep rehearsing the inner parts. I don't feel, unless you guys want to, that we need to have a cast session where we rehearse you singing all your pieces, because you're doing that in the context of coachings. If we have time, yeah, I'd love to do it so I can maybe give you a little direction, but other than that, we want to keep this fairly simple. Okay? I want you to think about yourselves in the outline, as the characters that I've outlined here. You saw I sort of mishmashed you up. So we have Count Malatesta instead of Count Almaviva. He's both characters. We have Dorabella Carmen, and so forth and so on. And it kind of works out that way, and it's kind of cute if you refer to yourselves that way. So anyway, that's where we are with that. So Karen isn't here, so I think we can skip that very first interaction. And she's just as she finishes the jewel song, then we have Santuzza bust in. Okay, so Santuzza, tell me about how you enter the scene. What do you think you say? What do you think you do?
Okay, I'm gonna be honest. I wrote myself an entire paragraph, so I will cut this down and decide what
That's
we like
okay.
best.
Share the
Um,
paragraph. Maybe we'll all get some ideas from it.
okay. You can laugh if you want. You guys. I'm like, I'm so upset right now. Ugh! And then they could react. What's wrong? What happened? I thought it was for real. I thought he loved me. Turidu said he loved me, but he lied about everything. Okay. He stayed home and played Xbox when he told me he was out saving kittens. He was never helping the elderly mow their lawns. He was flexing at the pool with Giovanni and Scarpia. And he never paid the rent this month. He used that money to take Lola to dinner. Lola! He asked me to marry him, but this ring, it's cubic zirconia! I need to call my mom. That's what I got.
I love it. And if you know what,
Way
if
too
you're
much.
happy doing that, then do the whole thing. Just we need the outline of it. And of course, the ladies will respond to you. But
Yeah.
you should be able to say it in a way that you don't have to wait for them to respond. Just keep going.
Just keep going. Okay, got it.
And the only thing I would do is I wouldn't say I need to call my mom, because you're there to tell them about it,
Right, okay.
right?
Okay.
You know, um
Cool.
and so maybe the cue statement could be from Dorabella to say, to say something like, Santuzza, sit down, take a breath, and tell us about it. Okay. Tell us what happened. And so something along those lines. I want it in your words, your own character, but that's what we would do. So, Joanna, do that again, and this time slow down, take your pitch down just a little bit. I know you're reading it, but really try to make it spontaneous. I love that it's out of breath. I, it needs to build too. You have a lot of really great funny stuff in there, Just make sure you build so it's not all one layer. Okay.
Okay.
And then when she's done, so Paula, I want you to react because you're on stage with her, and then make sure that you say at the end, what we just talked about. Sit down, calm down, tell us about it, something like that. Okay.
Okay. You guys, I'm like so upset right now. I thought it was for real. I thought he loved me. Turidu said he loved me, but he lied about everything. He stayed home and he played Xbox when he told me he was out saving kittens. He was never helping the elderly mow lawns. He was flexing at the pool with Giovanni and Scarpia. And he never paid the rent this month. He used the money and he took Lola out to dinner. Lola! Lola. And this ring? He asked me to marry him, but this is cubic zirconia!
Girl, it's okay. Calm down. Come to me. Tell me everything.
Great. I love it. I love it. Okay. So, Joanna, what I would like you to do, I do think we can tighten it up just a little bit, just to make the
Sure.
pacing better. Can you send a copy of that to the cast, or send it to Apollo, and Apollo will send it?
Sure.
Well, what we're going to do is we're going to put together a script. So
Mhm.
actually, do send it to Apollo, and then we'll get, like I did last time, I'll get a script out tonight or tomorrow morning for us to all
Okay.
start looking at. Okay. Love the vibe, Dorabella. And I love what you came up with, Joanna. When I told you to bring your voice down, I didn't mean quieter. I meant pitch
well,
rise,
in pitch,
because
yeah.
you kept going up higher and higher every time. So just, it makes it a little hard to understand. That's all.
Got it. Okay,
Okay.
cool.
All right, great. Okay, so now you're through with Voi Lo Sapete, and we have Dorabella and we don't have Susanna, so Dorabella, it's all up to you. What are you going to say to calm her down? How are you going to respond to this? She's just told you this horrible tale of woe.
I'm just thinking. Yeah, because like when I wrote down like my script ideas, I did it through like the narrator sort of lens. So like so that's why I'm just like trying to improvise in my brain. But I'm thinking like just something like, are you okay to stay at the party? Like we already knew he wasn't no good. Like feel free to stay. And then I know in the script she's like, no, like I need to go home. Like, and I think well, I initially wrote my Dorabella girl as my Dorabella character as like some sort of like prissy girl, but I kind of like the idea of her being nice. So it's just like, okay, like feel free, like I'll see you later, something like that. I don't know.
Yeah, I like the character. I really like the way you're developing the character. What if you were to say to, what if you were to say, like, girl, listen, what you said about it, forget about him. He's dirt. But hey, this really hot count is going to be at the party tonight. Maybe you should hang out and meet him.
Mm-hmm.
And then Santuzza can say, say whatever you're going to say about, I couldn't possibly, I have to, I don't know. I have to go talk to my priest or something like that. I don't know. What do you think you might say, Joanna?
No more men. From here on out, it's cats only. I don't know. Dogs only, maybe.
I like it. I like it. Okay, so y'all think about that. And then we'll have some kind of little button moment with Susanna and Dorabella, right? Where you sort of put an end on the scene. Then we have a scene change, and it will go into the garden. So we will see at that time, Miguel and Su Young, you will both come onto the screen at the same time. Okay. You will, in other words, you'll just turn on your video at the same time. And maybe we'll just start right away. I don't know. What do you think? How do you want to make your entrance, Miguel?
Um, I actually thought that it might be interesting for my parts to just go in straight away for both the arias, just because they sort of seem um self-explanatory
Hmm.
in that manner. But I don't know if that would be weird pacing wise or.
I think it would be, especially for this moment, it makes a lot of sense because it's a scene change.
Mm-hmm.
And that would give you an opportunity to, you know, start your accompaniment. It has an introduction. So you start the accompaniment and turn on your screen.
Uh-huh.
And, we'll time it so Soo Young, you won't turn on your screen until you hear the accompaniment come on. So we kind of do it together. And the idea is you guys have entered the garden at the same time, or maybe even um, Soo Young enters first and then you join him. Um, yeah, I think that would be great. You sing that your song, and then what?
And then I was thinking maybe um well, I feel like if we were to do a dialogue, it might be a pacing, like off in terms of pacing. So I was thinking either I mention Juliet or he mentions Juliet, and then he's like, "Oh, Juliet, forget about her. I know this chick." And then he launches into Bella Sicome and Angelo.
I think that it would be really good if you said something like, "Oh,
Uh huh.
Juliet, Juliet." It doesn't even have to be a whole thing.
Uh huh.
You can just say, or you could even say something like, keeping with the theme, "I heard Juliet was going to be at this party," or
Uh huh.
something
Yeah,
like
yeah,
that.
yeah. That
And
would be
then So
great.
Young, you can come in with your line as Malatesta to introduce your aria. So what do you think you would like to say to him then?
So after Miguel finished his line, I would say I'd respond, "Oh, Romeo, Romeo, I can feel you." Then, what about to see my sister? You might change your mind.
Okay, good, good. I like that. So here's what I want to do right now before we move on to the next scene. We've got two scenes that we've already worked our way through, you guys, which is excellent. So now what I want to do is just talk through it and, just maybe sing the first line of your aria and then jump to the last line. So we know we start establishing the cue to cue. And also keeping in mind, Apollo's taking notes for us, but they're not necessarily familiar with these pieces. So we might need to give them a little more information and help them out about the stuff. It would help if Apollo, I'll write down the names of everything for you so you know exactly what they are. We're referring to these operas and the characters, and it's confusing. So I'll write all of that down for you. Just make a note for me to do that for you. Okay, so let's start at the beginning of the scene. I'll play Susanna since she's not here right now. Um, and Paula, it's we're opening up on you.
Okay. Um, Give me a moment. I'm just. I forgot what we were doing for the beginning with Susanna. I'm so sorry. Or I
I
know that she comes in with their jewels, or
Yeah, my suggestion is that you are getting ready for the party. So maybe you're just like
oh,
trying on, you could even be, checking to see which earrings go best with your dress or, whatever. And I thought it might be cute if you were humming Je veux vivre. Do you know that piece?
that's the one that's.
Yeah, exactly. It would just
Okay,
be
cool.
kind of cute and funny, especially since you have a crush on Romeo.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. So.
You can even, you know what, if you even want to take it further, you could catch yourself doing that and say, "Oh, that's that song that Juliet always sings."
Okay, I think I will do that because
You could
that's
get some
funny.
kind of, and I don't care if you use language, because that bitch Juliet always sings this.
Yo, okay, cool.
Yeah, yeah, go for it.
Okay, so it's
Or
just like,
skank or something like that. Yeah.
yeah.
All right. So this is
So.
you.
it's Juliet with her song. Oh my gosh.
Dorabella, you will never believe what I found on my doorstep. Look at this.
Oh my gosh, what are those?
It is a whole box of jewels. Can you believe it? And then, sorry, I'm trying to blank. Ah, je ris de me voici belle en semi-moi. Da, 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 da. So that's probably a response from you there when she's done singing that aria. You know, it could
Okay.
even be like, you know, maybe we make another joke like, you know, hey, that necklace would go perfectly with my dress. And she can say, don't even think about it.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Okay.
Something like that. Something cute like that. All right. And then we have Santuzza comes in.
Is it okay if I just read it? Do you want me to do the whole thing
Yeah,
again?
you can read it. You can read
Okay.
it.
You guys, I'm like so upset right now. Oh, I thought it was for real. I thought he loved me. Turidu said he loved me, but he lied about everything. He stayed home and played Xbox when he told me he was out saving kittens. He was never helping the elderly mow lawns. He played Xbox when he told me he was... No, I skipped a line. He was flexing by the pool with Giovanni and Scarpia, and he never paid the rent this month. He used the money and took Lola out to dinner. Lola, he asked me to marry him, but this ring, it's not even a diamond, it's cubic zirconia.
Oh my God.
Girl, okay. You're okay. Don't worry. Sit down. Tell me everything.
Big long introduction. Voi lo sapete, oh mamma. And then skip to the end. Io piango.
Here's a Kleenex, honey.
Okay. So here's what you need to do. Forget about him. I have Count Malatesta coming tonight. You can have your hot girl summer. And we're just gonna vibe tonight.
No more men. I'm going home to the only boy who's never let me down, my cat.
All right, I'll see you later. Have a good night, okay?
Good night.
Bye.
Man, that really sucks for her. She has the worst taste in men.
Ugh, I know. It's been what, the third time now?
Mm.
Hmm.
And scene. And now we have this, now we switch scenes and we have the introduction.
L'amour. L'amour. And then I skip to the end. Party! So I heard Juliet was coming to this party tonight. Anyone seen her yet? Malatesta? You seen Juliet? I really would like to see Juliet.
So that's your cue, So Young.
Okay, yeah.
When he says something about Juliet, as soon as he starts talking about Juliet, then that would be when you come in.
All right, okay. Oh, Romeo, my friend. How about you meet my sister? You might fall in love with her. Dun, 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 dun. Bella si come un angelo. Then at the end, beato, per far beato un cor.
Great. Okay. So then during the end of your aria, the ladies have come back in and they overhear it. And so Miguel, maybe you can say something like, well, you know, maybe I ought to, do you have a picture of her or something? And then the two of you leave. And that will spark Dorabella. Okay. So your response to him is, can you show me a picture? And then, so Dorabella, do you want to then say something in response to that, or do you just want to go straight into your aria?
I'll probably just do like a quick one-liner, like "Who is that skank?" or something like that. Or I was gonna say, wait, what did I write down for this? Because like I wrote down like a teeny dialogue between Dorabella and like Susanna, where it was just like, oh my gosh, like I'm so like I guess, or sorry, my brain's like moving too quick. Basically, I'm gonna scrap something, and then it'll just be like, oh my gosh, who the heck is she? No, 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 no. Or his name is Romeo. Romeo's supposed to be mine. And then I had Susanna just like, no, like, let's go inside. It's okay. And I'm like, no. And then, scosati. And then,
Okay. All right, good. So send that to Apollo for the
okay.
notes. Okay. Great. And so she sings Manye, and then Susanna says, girl, calm down. Listen, it's your birthday. It's a beautiful night. Look at the sky, whatever she's going to say. And she sings Ain't It a Pretty Night? And then she just leaves you alone. She wanders off because she's gotten so into her own thing. Okay. And about the time she leaves, back come the gentlemen. And you see them and you make your decision now to become Carmen and to flirt with the Count.
I
So
also, sorry.
go ahead.
I was gonna say I wrote like a tiny dialogue for this too that I can send to Apollo if we like it.
Well, let's hear it.
But yeah, it was like the boys walk in, and then I'm just like I'm just like, oh, lover boy, and like I had Romeo be like, huh, and then I'm like, not you, and then just like to Soo Young, I'm like, what's up, Buttercup? Want to go somewhere alone with me? And then, yeah.
Yeah. Oh,
Maybe
that's
I can
great.
say want to dance with me because it's the Segadia. That could also work, but yeah.
I think that's great. The only thing I would say is you need to make it clear that you're making the decision to do that. So you can have an aside, if you can add an aside to the audience before you go into addressing them, just something really short, like there's Romeo. I'm going to show him what he's missing out on, or something like that, something to that effect. Okay. So then you sing the Segadia and you flirt with the Count who likes it. And you and the Count end up leaving together. And now Alfredo Romeo has seen the error of his ways. So how do you react to that before you sing your big aria, Miguel?
I had two thoughts on this. One of them being launched straight into the intro of O Mio Rimorso again. Um, but the other was just being super dramatic and going, "Oh, Dorabella, no!" Tan 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 tan. Oh mio rimorso infamia.
I think it's funnier if you just launch straight into the aria, to be honest.
Okay.
Don't you guys agree? I mean, it's pretty clear. Oh mio rimorso.
Yes.
That word is pretty clear, and you can be very dramatic with it. I think it would be actually really hilarious if you just kind of took a beat watching them leave and then launched into it. So that would be my vote for that. And then you can also leave without saying anything. You can just tear off the stage. You know what they usually do at the end of that is they sing the high C and they run off stage singing it. So be as tenorly dramatic as you wish. Just go for it.
Fun.
In fact, depending on what we might even do if this works is you could wander back in as Soo Young is about to begin I Già Vinto la Causa and interrupt him a couple of times with your high C. So in other words, he comes in and he's ready to have his scene, and then you just kind of walk across the screen singing the high C again, and he reacts to that, and then he starts again and you walk back across the singing your high C. And then we have to figure out how you stop him, Soo Young. How are you going to shut him up?
Okay. Maybe I appear several times from side by side, and then turn off my screen and turn on with like that really close side.
Okay. And do what besides being really close? What would you?
What? What? Stop. Like that.
Okay. But I think if you just say one thing and be really strong, like you just get up there and say, "Stop it!"
Okay, yeah. That
Like,
works. Stop.
yeah. Okay, and
I
then
feel like, oh, sorry.
go ahead.
I was just gonna say,
Paula.
I was just gonna say, like, maybe just like shut up would be good because it's just there's that like extra like versus just like stop.
Or silencio, or something like that.
Or it could also be um so I go doing the high season stuff, and then he's like he mimics a high C or something like that, like, but not a high, you know what I mean? Like, so I go and it's like he yells at the same time, and he's like, okay, I exit. Like, oop.
I don't quite understand.
Oh,
You
so you know how when someone's going sort of like hysterical and stuff, you can also sort of like, if they're going like yelling and stuff, you can yell at them and then they'll realize how absurd they're being, and then they just stop. It's sort of like that. I think he could do something like that.
Yeah, so I think what you're saying is he yells at you to stop, and you have a reaction to that and maybe sort of sneak off stage, or realize what you did. In other words, you have a reaction to that, and that stops that little moment. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I could see that. Young, it also occurs to me that another thing you could do is you could just let off a tirade in. Are you Chinese? I'm sorry. Are you Chinese or Korean?
No, Korean.
Okay, maybe you could let off a tirade in Korean and just tell him what an idiot he is. Like totally break character. I
What do
mean,
you mean?
instead of, I think it would be funny to an American audience that the Count, who is supposed to be Spanish, and Malatesta, who's supposed to be Italian, all of a sudden starts speaking Korean. So it's almost like you break character, and instead of just saying stop, then you say something to him in, very fast in Korean that
Uh-huh.
just kind of shocks everybody.
Okay.
Um, um, however you would tell somebody to shut up, sit down, stop, get out of my scene, whatever you want to say. Um, and and that could just kind of be, I think that then Miguel, you have a great idea of just kind of being shocked into silence, but then you have to have the reaction of, okay, I'm going to get out of here. And then, So Young, you can take a moment to get yourself together, and then you go right back into the scene like nothing happened. You understand what I mean?
Yes, I got it.
Do you like that idea, or would you rather just say stop? I'm just giving an alternative suggestion.
No, I can say in Korean something similar in shut up.
Okay. Do you want to try it?
Sure.
Okay.
So after the C and
So he's Miguel. So you don't have to sing a high C, but just sing something for us.
give some cue.
Unmute. You're muted, Miguel.
Oh. Ah.
닥쳐! 닥치라고.
Okay. Yeah, but it has to be fast. You have to do like a long line of stuff. Okay.
Me?
Yes. You
More
have
longer?
to. Yeah, it has to be like, you need to be quiet right now. I'm still going on. It's my turn right now. Shut up. So it's like a string of things.
Okay.
Okay.
Can it be whole line will be in Korean or whatever?
Yeah,
you want?
all in Korean. I would say stop it last,
Okay, at the end.
Yeah, at the end, because that was really clear. I would have known that meant stop, even though I don't speak a word of Korean. So I would, that was the intention was very clear, and I think people will enjoy that.
Okay.
Okay. And then you'll take a moment and you'll go on to I già vinto la causa.
Mhm.
Or your lines, and maybe we get the lines out first, because the idea is that Dorabella, um, maybe in fact, let's do this. When you come back in, you're going to be angry and you're going to say, all Dorabella wanted was for me to pay for the whole party, or something like that, right? And then Miguel comes in with this, and you like, or even, okay, I'll back this up. It'll make more sense when I write it out. I can't believe it. All that Dorabella wanted, Miguel comes through singing his high C. You start over again. All Dorabella wanted out of me was, he comes back through singing again. You get madder. Dorabella thinks I'm going to pay for this whole. Miguel comes back in again. You say your line. You say the Korean to him.
Okay.
And then when he's done, and when you've scared him off, then you take a moment, you take a deep breath, and start singing the aria.
Mhm.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. Mhm.
Okay. It'll make even more when it's all written out. Okay. So we all happy with that so far? I think this is a good shape. So then as soon as you're done with the aria, as you're getting ready to leave, there's a big commotion. And so we'll have to have some offstage sound going on from somebody. And in other words, well, I guess what'll have to happen is everybody will turn their screen on and be saying something like, she's here, what's going on? Oh, everybody back to the garden. And you all come on the screen, and then Ulrika comes in and she's the last one. Okay. So, Ulrika, you're on now.
Okay, I wrote myself a little thing for this too.
Okay, great.
All right. Sorry I'm late. Traffic was hell. And now be amazed, be mystified, unveil your future, or maybe just the next 5 minutes. Gather round and have your fortunes told by Ulrika the Unreal. Ulrika the Unreal Enterprises will not be held liable for any accidental party fouls involving incineration, incarceration, impersonation, or conflagration. Ulrika is not responsible for spreading irresponsible information to party guests. In case of Dark Lord, call your nearest exorcism hotline. Now let us begin.
That's fantastic. Great. So you sing your aria, and maybe while you're singing it, you're reading people's palms.
Okay.
Okay. So if you have someone there with you whose palm you can take, great. Otherwise, we'll just each of you, we'll figure out an order, and each person hold out their palm, and Ulrika can, you can wave your hand around. So when it's over, and the count, count will be the last one to get his palm read. Then we need some little dialogue where everybody tells, Dorabella, oh, it was such a fantastic party. I love it. Everybody should come up with their own little line that kind of relates to what's gone on, right? So, Alfredo, maybe you say something to her like, um, can I call on you tomorrow, or something like that, and Dorabella has a good reaction to that. Everybody should have something that relates to their characters in some way. A little tagline as you then turn off your camera one by one. After you're done with your scene, you turn it off. And the last two are Ulrika and the Count. And as the Count leaves, we will see Ulrika, take out a wallet, and say, man, that guy was loaded, or something like that, and you walk off with the money that you got from him. And that will be the end of the program. Okay. Are we feeling good about that? Great. I love it. I think it's going to be really fun. And so, what I would like you to do between now and next time is to really think about this dialogue and really get it as tight as you can. In other words, we want it to be really concise. Um, if you have a longer speech, then you just want to get comfortable with it, so you don't have to go word for word. If you have to skip a little bit of it, it's not a big deal. Um, but I want you to know the gist of what you're saying and how to get to where you need to be for the cue. And because we need to have those cue lines are the one thing that has to be the same every time so that the next person knows it's time to go. Okay. So what's going to happen is later tonight, Apollo's going to send me their notes for the session. I'm going to sit down and write out the script and send it all to you, and you will practice this. And so next time I want to be able to just kind of run through as much of it as we can. We'll have to incorporate Karen into it, but it shouldn't be too hard. And we will have your music, and we're going to practice starting and stopping the music, because that's another aspect of this, doing this in a timed way, of having to turn on your music for yourself if you don't have anybody else there to do it for you, your accompaniment, and doing sound checks so we make sure that we can hear you, and also that you're in an optimal place. We'll do two separate kinds of rehearsals. We'll do one where we're working on the dialogue and all of that. We'll also just do a tech rehearsal where we practice doing a cue to cue with the dialogue and turning things on and off, and also switching the backgrounds, making sure we all get the backgrounds in there. So you can go ahead and load. Well, we'll have to decide which one of those backgrounds we're going to use. We'll make a definite decision on that, and then we have to send you the garden party one, and then so we'll practice that for next time. So the main thing is for you to get your dialogue down tight, and we really know what we're going to do with it, so we can do it smoothly and not have a lot of hesitations. Okay. And I do not care if you want to write it out and on a poster and have it, on your wall where you can see it, that's fine. You're going to have a sheet of paper with a cue to cue on it. So while we're doing the concert, so you will know, just like a prop sheet backstage, you know exactly what's coming up next, when you're going to be on, what order we're in, and you'll have the dialogue right there. Okay. I don't want you reading it off the page, or at least looking like you're reading it off the page. At the very least, it should be improvised, but it's okay if you're studying it when you're not on screen. Okay. Any questions, any ideas, any last minute things? Apollo would like everybody who wrote down dialogue to send it to them. And that's going to be it for tonight, guys. Great work. This is going to be so much fun. Love it. Oh, and there's an event in Facebook, on our Facebook page, so you can start sharing it and make sure you invite everybody to come and see it. Okay? All right. Thank you all very much. Good night.
Thank you. Good night.